Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm playing video series reviews I do for the White Dog over there. Try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about the stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie, I am very excited for this one. So, fingers crossed, thumbs up, all that good stuff. The peace sign, victory sign in Japan, live long and prosper, hang 10, and of course, always the medal. But anyway, folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my Outrun the Sunlight shirt. Woo! I love this fucking shirt, man. It's such a cool... I love the design. Like, I always like Saturn, just as a planet anyway, 'cause it's got the big badass rings and stuff. Some people are like, oh, Jupiter. I'm like, fuck you. Saturn is just badass, man. I mean, Jupiter's fine, too, but Saturn's cool. I'm just saying. But what the fuck is Outrun the Sunlight? They are a local band out of Chicago. I ran into these guys about a month ago now. At the time I'm doing this, they were opening up for a couple bands that I was there to see. I'd never heard of them before, despite the fact that, I do try to be part of the local scene, and they've apparently been around for a little bit. They're like a progressive instrumental band. Very cool set. Really enjoyed their stuff. What with it being progressive instrumental, definitely had some longer songs, which is perfectly fine. Because, at the end of the day, when it comes to like instrumental music and stuff like that, a lot of times they tend to, extend it, gives them that opportunity to kind of showcase what they're doing, which is fine, but you need to be good at what you're doing. These guys were excellent at what they're doing. So much so that I got a shirt, I got a CD, I actually got some videos from their performance, just in case you happen to be interested and you're like, blah, 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 what's this about? You can look those up, or just hit me up in the comments and I will direct you to like their actual page and stuff like that. Anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, it's from an international spot. I'm very, very excited because we're headed back to, boom, Ethio Beans, which is an Ethiopian restaurant. I went over there. I just got through reviewing some sambusa from Ethio Beans. And I found this place maybe a little over a year ago. And, you watch the show, man. It's like, I always like to try new cuisines and stuff like that. I always think that's really cool. And, when I had the opportunity to try Ethiopian food, I was super down for it. So, I'm going to be trying, this is a completely new item. I had the sambusa before, never had this before. It is, and I apologize for any mispronunciations, kiwat. It's Keywot. Kiwat. That's what I'm going with. Apologize if it's wrong. Which is apparently spicy. It is tender cubed beef cooked in a rich and spicy, and again, I'm gonna butcher shit. Berry sauce, Berbere. Berries, sure, okay. It comes in. I gotta be careful. Boom! It comes in this. This is the one big downside to doing the show like this in the truck is it's like I'm fucking. So I think that the way that I'm supposed to do this, because I did actually have lunch here before I started doing reviews, and I got something kind of similar. So they have this bread, and it's like this cool special bread. I forget the name of it, despite the fact that they told me. I apologize, but it's like it has sort of like a almost like a spongy kind of texture to it. And the way that I was doing it in there was I was going over there and basically kind of making pseudo tacos out of the stuff and just kind of putting it in the bread. And nobody went over there and slapped me across the face and demand that, I restore their honor with a duel. So I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Because let's not forget, folks, try as I may, I do not know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So, I have no idea. How am I supposed to get... Oh, no. Oh, no. This is... Okay, no, that's just a knife. I need like a fork or something, fork-ish, to work with. Yay, forks! Oh, I am the absolute model of preparedness and professionalism. So, I don't know how we're gonna... There's no way I'm gonna get like a good thumbnail for this. Because it's just this. Oh god, it's so warm. It's so warm! Okay. Kind of reminds me a little bit of chili sauce. Okay, ooh, there's the kick. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Alright. Alright, first we're just gonna try some. This is gonna have to be a thumbnail. Ha 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 ha. Because I don't know. First, I'm just gonna try some by itself, which might be a terrible idea. Let's give it a go. Oh my god, that's good. Oh, that's good. What is that like? It reminds me of something, but I can't think of what. Like, that's so rich. It's super rich. The beef is super tender. Like, put this underneath because I keep just getting... Okay. Yeah, man, like, the beef is super tender. And it does have a spice to it. It's not super duper spicy, but... It almost reminds me a little bit of, like, something like a barbacoa. Or something else. Like, it's very similar to something else that I've had. Obviously, a little bit different, but... Man. This is why I need to, like, get to a professional level with this. So, like, I can do these reviews, like, in the restaurants and stuff. Make my life a little bit easier. No, man, that's super duper good. Okay. Trying to. No matter what I do, there's no way that this works well. But I will say this. Food-wise, this is fantastic. I apologize that this video is a little bit stupid in terms of my presentation, definitely not in terms of the food. Food is awesome. I am just failing miserably at this. Like, that is genuinely some of the tastiest beef I think I've ever had. Super tender. It's still got some bite to it. It's not quite melt in your mouth, but I think that's good in this instance for sure. Still got some, or a little bit of bite to it, but it's not chewy. Very tender, and it's just like super savory. Like the sauce works perfectly with it. Certain sauces work really well with certain types of meats. This is a type of sauce that definitely works perfectly with beef. I think, and I'm not saying it couldn't, you know, because for all I know, there's like dishes that use it. I think this would be a little bit harder to deal with if it were like chicken, because I feel like the chicken would get a little bit lost in it, since it has a little bit lighter flavor. But with the beef has that, you know, just has that strength of flavor, and it just complements it. It's super good. All right, let's get some of the bread stuff so that I can do this. And like the bread almost has like a sourdough kind of taste to it. It has like a little bit of a sour kind of thing. Bread. We're going to kind of just do this. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to like properly do this, but we're just going to get the sauce. Oh, that sauce is so good. And yeah, it does have a little heat to it. It's really interesting. When you have it with the beef, just by itself, the heat doesn't come through as much. I think the beef kind of mitigates it a little bit. Whereas comparatively, when you're just kind of doing the sauce with the bread or by itself, like you do get like an immediate like back of the throat heat. And It's not what I would consider anything outrageous, but like it's sometimes on menus when they're like, oh, something is spicy, and like I'm not saying this place, but just places in general, they just mean spicy by like extremely normal people standards. And I'm not a completely normal person in that regard. I like spicy stuff. So for me, if you say spicy, I want spicy. In this case, they definitely mean spicy. It's not super duper spicy, but it's enough to be more than noticeable. That beef is ridiculous. Seriously. Again, I apologize for the shittiness of this review just because I didn't realize how difficult it would be for me to try to format this one. I just, was not aware. Oh man, that heat back of the throat. For all this stuff, there's like all these like places that, like different countries and stuff that are famous for like their sauces. Like you have like jerk sauce from Jamaica and all kinds of sauces from like China and Japan. Why do we not have, again, apologize for the mispronunciation, why do we not have freaking like berry sauce from Ethiopia available? I mean, it probably is, to be fair, but like, man, like that's some seriously good stuff. All right, this one has run super long because I obviously kind of, there's just no way. Obviously, I flubbed it up a little bit. I apologize, but it is what it is. The main thing is the food. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Despite the fact that it's staining my fingers. Yes and yes. Like, genuinely, not only is this like, this is a super tasty dish. For me, it hits on all the things that I want. It's rich, it's savory, it's got a little bit of kick with the spiciness. It goes well with the bread, you can kind of absorb it and stuff. And I'm going to go as far as to say that I actually think this is my favorite thing that I've had from Ethio beans. And I mean, it would be about the 4th thing that I've had overall, if we're including like the appetizer, the sambusa. It is super good, man. Like, I love that. It's just, the beef, like I said, beef was super tender. The sauce, I think, works perfectly with it. And there's nothing I disliked about it, other than the fact that obviously it was a little bit hard for me to handle. But that's not on them, that's on me. If I'm recommending it, I mean, yes. Like, for one thing, if you have the opportunity to try Ethiopian food, absolutely try Ethiopian food. I'm fortunate where this is a local-ish place to me. It's not close, but like, it's not a super far drive. Which, by the way, because it is a local spot, it's going to end up on my Sampler Platter Local Love playlist. So if you want to check out more spots that are kind of local to me, I'm just saying. No, man, like, I think that I can say with the 2 times that I, obviously I haven't tried their entire menu, I haven't had a single thing that I've disliked from Ethio beans. And I've really, really enjoyed, like, getting to jump into their food and their cuisine and stuff. Because, it's like, being in America, we have all these great options for stuff. And that's super cool. And, sometimes you go to places where it's like, it's pretty similar to like things you're already familiar with. But whereas like Ethiopia, it's like, I mean, yeah, certain things are a little bit similar. But a lot of it is just like, I don't know what I'm getting into. And I love that. And the fact that it's all been super good on top of it makes it even better. So yeah, I cannot go over there and recommend the kiwats. Again, apologize if that's pronounced. I can't. I mean, if you're not into spicy stuff, it's not going to be for you, even though it's not super duper spicy. But if you want bold flavor and you want like some of the tastiest beef that I've ever personally had, yes, man. Seriously, that is just some really good stuff. I apologize, this one's going so long. I already did that. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly, hopefully the next time I do something like this, I'll be more prepared-tastic rest of your life. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. Try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and bullshit. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to do. If you ever decide that you're going to go over there and do a YouTube food review channel of your own, go over there and prepare better in advance. Because I genuinely did try a little bit, even with this one. I was like, okay, I think if I do this, I was not prepared. And I apologize. I apologize to you as my viewers. I apologize to the fine folks of Ethio Beans, because I spent a lot of time just getting things set up instead of just enjoying and reveling in your awesome food, looking like a bit of a schmuck while I was doing it. And I apologize to myself and to the people Outrun the Sun. You deserved a better review than this. But hopefully, if nothing else, again, the takeaway will not be my lack of preparedness. Instead will be, how fucking good was this food? Thank you, Ethio Beans. I don't usually thank restaurants, but thank you. Bye!